now these kids walk in the door and their families' expectations are even worse than theirs. And so
Wow.
there's a lot of pressure on these kids today. And now you throw all this NIL money and the expectations of that.
Coach, it's good to see you, man.
Hey, Emmitt, it's good to be seen, bro.
How you doing?
Good, I'm doing well.
Where are you located at?
I'm here in Tempe right now. I'm on campus. We're in a meeting. Just finished a meeting and not so we didn't play very well last night. So
Well, I'm sure you're gonna get them back together for next week. Y'all open next week, or who y'all have next
no,
week?
we play Utah next week. So we go into
Oh,
the fire.
oh, oh,
Hey, upset special, baby. We heard it here
oh,
first. Upset special. We're already on
oh.
upset watch.
Well,
Come on now.
you know what Utah's gonna do now. They're gonna run that rock.
They're going to run it. Well, we got it ran on it last night, so we know we're going to get it. And they're average about 260 a game.
Good Lord. Well,
Uh,
Yeah,
Coach, I thank you so much for joining us on Inside the Game.
you're welcome.
I know you have a very busy schedule as well. So kudos to you and the success that you have had. And obviously, it's not easy trying to get a college team back together, get them turned around. So,
Yeah.
um, just just your thoughts about if you're watching the Cowboys Bengals right now. What's your thoughts about what you're seeing? What are your
Well,
thoughts?
it's kind of it's funny because I did text Mike this week, and we all been there.
Yeah,
They come out the start of the season, everybody's excited, and your quarterback gets hurt. You don't play very well, either side of the ball. Quarterback gets hurt,
yeah, yeah,
and it's hard. And now they're playing a team that obviously coming off the season the Bengals had last year with a great quarterback. The defense is playing well. So they got their hands full, but Dallas is up to the task. Cooper Rush has played very, very well. They're running it, they're throwing it, and they're getting after Joe Burrow. They've already sacked him twice now in the first quarter.
yeah.
So that's the difference.
Which has been somewhat shocking considering that we couldn't get to Tom Brady at all last.
Just
uh,
like you
But
said, it changes and quickly, and it's last week doesn't matter. It's what we do today.
that's for sure. That's for sure. That's the one thing about the NFL, which stands for not for long. You don't have long to celebrate. You don't have long to
Nope,
get over. You got to get over your losses fairly quickly. You got to get prepared for the next opponent. So
that's for
now
sure.
that you have come out of the NFL and venture right back into the college levels now, what's the difference? What have you seen out of the kids today versus grown men that are playing the game?
Well, now I know when they got to the league why they had issues because I see it every day.
Yeah,
I think the biggest difference, Emmett, and I coached the University of Pittsburgh 90-91. We had pro players. I mean, we had Curtis Martin.
right.
We had Keith Hamilton, Sean Gilbert, Alex Van Pelt was our quarterback. We had pro guys. And they came to college then hoping to get the opportunity to make it to the league. Now they show up here and they think you're basically a pass through for 3 years and they're going to the league. And we
Right.
know it's different than that. When you went to Florida, it wasn't that way.
Right.
You just hoping that you could earn your way on the field and then earn your way thereafter. And
Correct.
and now these kids walk in the door and their families' expectations are even worse than theirs. And so
Wow.
there's a lot of pressure on these kids today. And now you throw all this NIL money and the expectations of that, which are
Correct.
unreal. I mean, you don't get paid on production, or
Right.
you get paid on production, not projection. And
Right.
right
Right.
now, these
Right.
kids are getting paid on projection.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that 100%. I think NIL is, when think back to the movie, and I think it was the Bobby Jones story, and the reporter was sitting there talking about money is going to ruin amateur sports. And that's exactly what we're starting to see right now. You're absolutely correct. The expectations out of families in these NIL deals, the expectations of the kids in these NIL deals, they're already thinking that they're pros when they still haven't yet. The body has not matured. Now I understand why 3 and 4 years of college is important for an
Exactly.
athlete. When I think back to Marcus Dupree and some of the running backs out of Oklahoma and what their bodies went through. and how their bodies got beat up so early. And so not having a mature body coming into the National Football League can be a bad thing if you're not ready to go mentally, physically, and emotionally, because you're going to have to deal with a whole lot.
Yeah.
Now let me spin that then, because Emmitt, you're a father, obviously, of your son's playing at Stanford right now, and how do you spin those expectations though? If someone, obviously you've done through this process, you played college D1 football, you played in the pros, obviously,
Right.
But if you're a parent, how do you spin it where you don't get lost in the NIL money and you don't get lost in the expectations and you don't get lost in the broken promises that these coaches are making?
Well, I guess one of the things you got to do is, for me, having that NFL experience and having gone through this whole process, I'm able to shape it a little bit differently. I'm telling my kid, like Marvin talked about before, the expectations are already high, and they want to get paid off of projections, not off of performance. See, if you perform, then getting compensated will come right along with it. The visibility will come along with it. Some guys out there getting paid on hype and not substance. And I'm looking for substance. And I tell my boy all the time, carrying the ball, catching the ball out of the backfield, blocking, protecting the ball, all those things are very important. But you got to perform. Forget an NIL deal, because these guys that are getting the big NIL deals, they're coming in with a lot of hype. And they have yet to prove themselves out to be worthy of all the hype. High school football was one thing. And as you get to the college ranks, you're starting to figure out there are a lot more dogs on the football field than there were when you was in high school. You got to compete against these dogs. And no one is getting scared of you. Then as you get to the pros, there isn't a man on the football field that's going to be intimidated by you. They're going to be trying to knock your head off because they're trying to get paid just like you are too. So there's no need to rush. Take the time to understand what you really are getting yourself into. Prepare your body. Prepare yourself mentally. Understand the game from the inside out, outside in, both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. So your knowledge of the game continue to increase, which also helps your skill level increase.
100%, 100%.
I think the other thing on that, Jess, is the fact that, football is the ultimate team sport.
Yes.
I mean, literally the ultimate. It takes 11 guys doing their job in concert, damn near every play, to be successful. And when you start putting expectations on this guy's worth more than this guy and this guy's worth more than that guy, before you get to the professional level, what are you doing? You're fractioning that whole team element.
Yeah.
You're killing what this sport is all about.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you can be the best quarterback in the world, and if you ain't got nobody in front of you, it don't matter. Or if you don't have a receiver out there that can win, it don't matter. No. But when you have guys that are successful, everybody wins.
Yes.
Everybody wins.
Yes.
And that's the thing, that this thing, the unintended consequences of this are just huge. They're monstrous.
Yeah. I don't know if people truly can appreciate what you just stated, because you're right. That is the fracturing of a team. And you start putting labels on people. And mainly these labels are coming because people are actually making a hell of a lot of money off these kids too.
That's right. There's some cuts being made.
Yes,
there's a cut coming, and that's the issue. And there's not the counseling and the direction on what to do with this money. It's great. We appreciate these kids being able to, even at the smaller level, have an opportunity, not have to pay. Their parking pass is now provided. Things like that, when you come to college, there's a college, let's use Tony Dorsett at Pitt, Emmitt. You don't have to worry about parking in. But, when you come to college, there's certain expenses that back in the day, the scholarship didn't cover. Well, now they can cover those things and take care of that. So
they should have been covered in the first place, because they
should have been.
The reality of the fact is, the dollars that these guys are making for these programs are multi millions of dollars that are driving kids because of the fandom, if you will, and the excitement around the program and how successful the program really is.
Yeah.
Alabama's enrollment probably tripled and doubled and tripled when they started winning those national championships. University of Florida stuff did the same thing when Urban Meyer and the basketball program was rolling for national championships. Don't think it's not going to happen for Texas or A&M. They're going to double and triple anyway because they're here in Texas and they got more money you could possibly imagine, all money everywhere. So
all money.
NIL, they were looking forward to that because they were cheating back in Eric Dixon days. This made it illegal.
Yeah, you just made it easy for them. You just said, okay, it's good. If you want to go buy a team, you can go buy a team. A lot of guys want to own NFL teams. You can go own a college team now.
Just go buy a college team.
Go buy a college.
Perfect. All right, guys. This is a great conversation. I love how we're rolling with this. First event of the year. It's the energy I love. Marvin, thank you so much. Emmitt, thank you so much. We're going to start rolling with fans now. First is Mario. Mario actually won, Emmitt, one of your touchdown balls. I think it was number 9, one of the low numbers. So, Mario, you're up. Take it away.
How are you? Good to see you, Coach Lewis.
Good, Mark. Good to see you guys.
Good. Hope everything's well on your end. Just living the dream over here. Just wanted to say hello. So, you want a question from me? You've met both of my boys, and they're baseball kids. But how did it feel with EJ? First carry of the year, dude. I got goosebumps. Come on, how did that make you feel? My boys were like, "What?" Emmitt's got to be freaking out.
It is crazy to see your son. I mean, for me, I've been watching him my whole life, and since high school, I've always felt like I'm sitting on the edge of my seat because something can happen with this kid at any point in time. Little did I know that his very first carry, his very first start in college would lead to an 80-some yard touchdown.
87. Crazy.
87-yard touchdown. And so what I saw was I saw him pause. I saw him jump cut. And then he saw the lane. And once he saw the lane, he was gone. And I was like, oh, he's gone. Then I was like, is somebody going to catch him? Because this is college football. There are fast guys on the football field, but he made it to this. I was very ecstatic.
Oh, my God. I was thrilled. I got goosebumps watching. I'm like, oh, my God. I can't wait to ask him about it because, being fathers, you know how it is. It's great when you could do something, but, man, when your kids do something, especially like that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It is crazy, and I'm happy for him. He got some work to do. I mean,
of course.
Obviously, every week is a different week, and so he got some work to do.
Yeah, and he wants to be like the old man. Of course, he's got work.
No, he really wants to be better than the old man. I don't think he understands how hard he has to work to get that.
Listen, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. It was great to talk to you. Hopefully, I'll be seeing you in the weeks to come. Coach Lewis, pleasure having you on. I appreciate it.
We're going to be rolling in Tempe at some point. Are y'all going up there?
We go up there. So, yeah. So, we got to.
Hey, you might have to make a trip, Emmitt. You might have to make a trip out there. Come on now.
Well,
oh, man.
I'm going to try to make as many games as I possibly can. But
that's awesome to be able to do
I'm sure Coach Lewis is going to have that 8-man front up there to do something. I mean, he's getting a lot of practice this week. I mean, like he said yesterday, they couldn't do it. They got not BYU, but Utah coming in. So he's going to have plenty of chances. The guy's going to get some work in.
We're gonna have to get Krusty here real quick.
All right, guys, we're going to go to the next fan question. So Rex was able to jump the queue, as I mentioned before, guys. You can use those trivia points to jump the queue. Like I said, it's like a fast pass, so you can talk to Marvin and Emmitt as much as you possibly want right there, as fast as you possibly want. So, Rex, take it away.
I got a shout out to Mario. Mario, it seems like every time I tune in, he's getting another one of your touchdown footballs. I think he's got almost as many as you have.
Well, mine's going down, but he's collecting as many as he possibly can. He already made it his mission to collect most of my touchdown footballs. Coach, I kept all my touchdown balls, and finally I'm starting to release them out into the public and auction them off. And Mario, he probably picked up, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 of them, maybe 10.
He's got a lot.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he's paying what they pay for MJ's jersey.
Hey, Emmitt, Emmitt, when you've been in the league for a while, maybe, had some injuries or what have you, do you not lean on your skills as much as your smarts and experience maybe towards the second half of the career?
Well, as you get older, you definitely have to lean on your experience. But also, your skill set doesn't really change that much. It's just the fact that you're just not as quick or as elusive as you used to be. And plus, you're just not as flexible either. But, the game itself, being smart, being heads up and studying the game and being able to stick your nose in and make blocks, that does not change. You still want to be aggressive. It just feels different. It just feels just a little bit different. So, but outside of that, I think mostly everything else is still the same. The game still slows down for you because you know what's going on the football field. You're just about seeing everything. So there aren't really many major surprises.
Emmitt, you probably went in thinking you were going to get drilled by some of the Bengals fans and what have you with the injury to Dak last week, but Cooper Rush is looking pretty good so far.
So far, the whole Dallas Cowboys team looking pretty good. They look more complete now than they've ever had. Obviously they looked horrible last week. I didn't get a chance to see it, and I'm glad I didn't because I heard how bad it looked. But right now, they're hitting on all cylinders. If you think about it, getting pressure on the quarterback, they're running the ball effectively. He's throwing the ball effectively. They're converting on third downs. They're just getting after it. Even special team is doing good. Obviously, with the extra points, we got 14 points. So, but we gotta keep that going. We gotta finish. Yeah. We gotta finish strong. Even though we started out quickly and executed fairly well, but Joe Burrow's on the other side now. They got players over there that can make plays.
Yeah, it's early. Yeah. Coach, obviously I've seen your players and your teams many times. You're at the college level now after all those years in the pros. Is it different to coach? They're younger guys. You touched on a little bit. Different to coach college guys than it is the professionals.
Yeah, I'm really actually not a coach, but I'm around them and with them all the time, trying to help them give direction and so forth. And they're way different now, and but life is different. Everything changes, and we got to change with it and stay progressive with it. So, but yeah, they're different, and they still hopefully get the joy and the enjoyment of being a college athlete and the opportunity, and know what's ahead. They just kind of come here, as I said earlier, with those expectations already. That this is kind of a pass through, and it takes the work you lay down that gives you the opportunity not just to get to the National Football League, but how to stay there. Yeah. And I think that's the important part.
But Emmitt, thank you so much for putting some of your stuff up and giving the fans a chance to own a piece of history with you. It's fantastic. So my question was, from your playing days, who is it from the teams that you hang out with the most, and what's the kind of things that you guys do?
Well, I don't hang out with many of my former teammates as much as I used to. I'm busy. I got 5 kids and 3 in college right now, and I got an 11-year-old that think he's 27 years old. So I got my hands full with the things that I'm trying to do with the kids and home and business and so forth. But when we do get together, I see Irv every now and then at church. Daryl Johnson and I link up and go have lunch. Every so often there is an event that we all may show up at. Charles Haley, he's doing great charitable work right here with literacy and everything else. So we support each other in various ways, but we don't hang out every day like we used to.
I got you. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for being on, and thanks to Nova the Live for putting this stuff together. It's been great, and I'm going to enjoy those gloves when I get them.
All right.
Well, the weather kind of broke last week, so it only gets to about 100 today. So
only 100.
Yeah. So no, literally, the weather did. It broke. It went from the 110s, the 112s to just 100. And
oh my God!
When I was driving home last night, I looked at the thing. It was 74 degrees. I said, "What?" So.
Hey, if you ever need a break from that, Coach, I'm telling you, just come up to Minnesota. We got you covered for the winter. I'll tell you what, we got the negative degrees for you if you ever need a break from the heat.
That's why they have a Mayo Clinic here, because of Minnesota.
Oh gosh, that's great stuff. All right, guys, we're gonna keep rolling with the questions from the fans. Russ actually won one of Emmitt's plaques, first round draft pick. I think it's like the Pensacola Football Club, something along those lines. Truly incredible, one of a kind thing. So Russ, take it away.
First off, I just
Hey.
wanted to say what an incredible honor it is to be able to talk to you both. My question
pleasure.
is, if you could know the absolute definitive truth to any question, what would that question be?
Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, you would give me that one, huh? Well, I think oh man, let's cure cancer.
Good one, yeah.
That's a good one. I would say, to hang out in the Garden of Eden with God.
Nice, nice. I also wanted to mention, Emmitt, you brought up a while ago about some life-changing advice that you once shared about taking your dreams, writing them down, and then doing so, turning them into goals.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember hearing that and thinking, wow, that is just so profound. And those words have just always stuck with me. And I've even used that method today, in my own life to help, me attain some of my own goals. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for sharing that.
Well, thank you for giving me credit for it, but I must give it credit to coaches like Marvin and my high school coach. I'm sure Marvin has given guys great advice, great wisdom in some of his pep talks and speeches before games and so forth. And as football players, it's those kind of things that impacts our lives in a tremendous way. And for me, I go back to my high school coach who gave us all that, the whole entire team. Not necessarily was for myself, but the whole entire team got the same message. Now, did they do the things that he requested? I don't know, but I did. And I found it to be very helpful.
Well, real quick before I go, I just wanted to share a quote with you by the late, great Walter Payton. He once said, if you're good at something, you tell everybody. If you're great at something, they tell you. And I'm here to tell you, Emmitt, you are the greatest. I appreciate you. And it's been such an honor to be able to talk to you. And take care and God bless.
All right. Likewise, my friend. Be good. What coach impacted you in your coaching days or playing days? What did someone say to you that just stuck with you and have been with you up to this point?
Well, I would say, number one, I think, like you said, and I would remind every coach that I ever met, when my son was coming through school and so forth and playing youth sports and everything. And they'd be looking at me, and I was like, no, don't look at me. I said, he listens to you.
Yeah.
I said, he listens to you. And that's the thing. Our high school coaches, I played for a man, Jim Gary, that Marty Schottenheimer played for as well.
Wow.
So that tells you. And just how he prepared us to play football and taught us the right way, never cursed. I mean, it was amazing. And then I think about going to college and so forth, and I had a lot of coaches that impact me. But I would say that, my opportunities through coaching with other coaches, and I learned something from everybody, and that I'm appreciative of all the time.
Yeah. Well, all that. Oh my God, the Cowboys are after barrels, man. I mean, man, they are on him.
Yeah.
I mean, they're on him. Now, this is the defense I wanted to see right here last week. But to your point, though, Coach, I think at every level, and this right here probably ties back into players that are ready when they come to you, when they come to the next level. Like I was a guy who came out of a very structured and disciplined system with Coach Dwight Thomas. And he gave us those quotes and those kind of things. He used to play music for us before we run out and play game. I mean, I felt like I was part of the Denzel Washington movie, Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
And that's the way it felt. And you try to look for those kind of things as players. I try to look for those things and think every coach have those kind of qualities. Every coach does not.
They don't.
They don't.
No,
And
they
so
don't.
for me, when I think back to some of the coaches that impacted me while I was playing with the Dallas Cowboys, not only does Norv Turner has that moniker, but also when I think about my position coaches, Clarence Shellman, also Coach Kirby Wilson, my running back coach. Those guys, they actually made me study the game in a totally different way than I did before. They made me study everything on the offensive line, all the check calls and everything else that was happening on the offensive line. And they wanted me to know it because if the quarterback out there did not check out of the play, I needed to know what was going on. And so I appreciate those guys so much because what they did for me, and this was like after I had won 3 Super Bowls. So when the man was talking about how you evolve and get better in later years, that's one of the ways you do it. Is by studying the game completely different and taking advantage of the things that you see on the football field. And young people don't understand that yet.
Yeah. Because you would have played for Kirby when you came out here to Arizona, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He came, Johnny Rollins was there when I first got there. Then Kirby came the second year.
Right. You know, and you mentioned those guys' names, and if you look at their coaching careers and how many players they had a hand in the development of.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And, you know, when you become a head coach in the NFL and you're putting your staff together, you need coaches of all different qualities. You have the great teachers and leaders. You have the schematics coaches. But you got to have a blend of men that can go lead these guys and pull everything out of them that they have. That way, it's so important. And I always felt it was important to have a couple of ex-players because they've sat in those chairs and they have watched when they were playing how the guys that were a little bit left or right of center and be able to pull them back to the middle.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and so you need that blend.
Hey, we're going to keep pulling fans, guys. I'll tell you what. Like I said, I'm loving this conversation between you guys. Amazing football minds, like always. Coach, really appreciate you coming on. Emmitt, you guys are just added to this conversation. That's truly incredible. One of the best events we've done. We're just going to keep rolling with the fans. Bright Eyes, she jumped the queue, so she's ready to go. Take it away, Bright Eyes.
Emmitt, I want to know how your tattoo is healing.
It's healing enough fine. I mean, I haven't even looked at it today. I got on jeans, so I haven't even looked at it. But it feels a whole lot better than it did 2 days ago. That's for sure.
Is the pain worse for the tattoo or when you had your shoulder injury with the Dallas Cowboys?
You know, that shoulder injury was something else. This tattoo pain, this was by my choosing. This is by my choosing. The shoulder pain, that was something. That's something different.
It was your very tattoo.
Say that again.
That was your very first tattoo.
There first, it might be my daggone last one too.
But Coach, welcome. It's a pleasure to talk to you because you were one of my favorite coaches. Although I'm a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan and Emmitt is my favorite player, I have been watching your career for a long, long time. I was hoping and wishing you would get that head coaching job in Washington, the now Commanders, but they didn't hire you. So the question I have for you today is, do you think there is enough diversity in head coaching jobs in the NFL? Why or why not?
I believe there is not, to be frank. I think the why we're still trying to figure out. I think the trend lately has been the offensive coordinators for the most part, and so you know these people on the offensive side of the football, and we're trying to keep pushing more minorities up into those pipelines.
Yes.
Those opportunities where they're coaching the quarterbacks, they're understanding. We just talked about, Emmitt and I just spoke about a couple of coaches that were long-time assistant coaches that got, that were tremendous, but never got I like Clay, who didn't get an opportunity maybe to matriculate to be a coordinator. And we're
Right.
trying to push those men up that ladder, because when you coach the running backs, you're involved in all three aspects. And
The
we
run
aren't
game,
getting that
pass
kind of
game,
credit.
all that.
That's right. And protection, blocking, receive, everything. And those people weren't getting enough credit for that and getting pushed up into those positions where they become a play caller, et cetera, from that standpoint. And so we got to keep working hard to push and mentor these young coaches and keep pushing them and encouraging them. They don't get the, they can't, we got to keep encouraging them to push them forward.
Right, but what about the owners, the ones that do the interviews, Emmitt? Like, I thought for sure that the coach, offensive coordinator, I believe, Benamy out of Kansas City, and he would have a head coaching job by now.
Well, you would think that. You would also, with Byron Leftwich down in Tampa Bay, and what he's done has gone under the radar.
Yes.
See, he's not classified as a young boy genius like our coordinator is right now. Kellen is. You know what I'm saying? But yet these boys, Byron and the enemy, have played the game completely different and played it from all sides of it as well. So these guys have done a tremendous job themselves and don't get enough credit for that. And that's what Marvin is talking about. Now, the only way some of this stuff could change if we have black owners too. Black owners at the table can also impact the hiring policies and the hiring procedures for certain positions. You don't just bring black coaches in to coach black players. You don't just bring white coaches in to coach white players or white coaches to coach the offensive line. You got to have a diversity of thought straight across the board, and that's the only way you create the synergies that's going to be required for the general makeup of the team.
Correct.
And so players, they respect good coaching, no matter if it's white, black, or indifferent. They respect that. If you can help me become the best that I can possibly be, it doesn't matter. But for the general makeup and the general population of the game itself, you definitely got to have some diversity there. And it's just not enough of it.
All Ted had was football, and that was tremendous. And then it got to be more about off the field, and then we made a change, and that's what happens, right? That's what we said. And when you're paid. As I used to tell him, people like you for what you do on the field.
Yeah,
that's why they like you. It's what you come out here and do on Sunday. And I hope you get to dance 5-6 times a game, because you score a touchdown and you're dancing, and that's good.
Right.
But and that's the thing about it. But so that those things in a nutshell, that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
Well, what you guys just said too, and I think that what you hit on too, Emmitt, was essentially what Bruce Arians said. And that's why it's like a lot of these people want to play for Bruce Arians because he's such a player's coach, but he also understands the demographic ain't right now. That's just what it is, and it's just tough seeing some of these guys that get passed over. I mean, heck, who was it? Someone was getting interviewed. I forgot who it was for the Cowboys, one of the Cowboys positions or something down south, where he was just a high school football coach. He was in the league a couple of years ago. I think it was McCown or something like that. Josh McCown was getting interviewed for a coach's job, and the dude was a high school coach. And I'm like, well, what are we doing here? It's ridiculous.
And you see it on the roster too. There's some cats that can't play the game as well as some other guys, but yet they spend 12 years in the league making millions of dollars doing absolutely nothing. And when they get out there, they're just absolutely horrible. And then you got guys like Teddy Bridgewater can't land a job somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you see that all that goes on, and they don't become journeymen like some of these other guys. Like Cooper Rush been around a long time.
Yep.
Long enough. Come on. But that's part of it, though. There's a lot of things here that just need to be analyzed and looked at.
Yep. Most definitely, guys. All right, so obviously we're just going to keep rolling with it. We got a couple more questions, guys. So obviously we're going to try to keep this as quick as possible, get to the most fans. But Josh Thomas, take it away, my man.
You can see I'm wearing my Smith jersey right here, watching the Cowboys game.
Yes, sir.
So, my question is, I had the privilege Friday night of sitting in the pits with your race team,
Okay.
and I want to know what made you get into motorsports.
Trust me. I'm still trying to figure out what made me get into it. No, what really provoked it was an opportunity to work with Jesse Awuzie. Um, Notable sponsored a race car that Jesse was driving out here at Texas Motor Speedway. That was my first entree into meeting Jesse. Beyond that, when he got ready to start his own motor group, he reached out to me, asked me if I wanted to be involved. Knowing that NASCAR was going through a big renaissance itself and looking for more minority owners and drivers, et cetera, I felt like it was the right opportunity for me to get involved. And that was the best entree that I had at the time. And we're doing good. I'm proud of our team where we are, especially in our first year. We're making tremendous progress and tremendous strides. I think the ownership group is a very put together group, and we're learning a whole lot of things on the fly. So those are some of the things that really provoked me to think about getting into the NASCAR space. Was just a simple fact that there was an opportunity there.
Okay, good. I'm glad you got into it.
Oh, yeah.
The team was great. Everybody was great.
Good. I'm glad you had a good experience.
Oh, yes, I did. And thank you for your time. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But the restaurant in Vegas is going to be cool, though. That's going to be cool.
Okay, where at?
Right there
Where
off
you
of
at,
right off the strip, right across from the Wynn and Palazzo at Fashion Show Mall.
Okay, awesome.
Hey, Coach just wants that free meal. That's what I think he wants. He just wants. There you go. Come on in.
He'll get it.
My wife's saying we got to go to Vegas for the bye weekend. So anyway, so
when is y'all bye weekend?
I think we're going October 13th.
Okay.
October 13th. So.
We might not be open at that time.
Okay.
We might not be open.
Yeah, we'll go. All right.
So we're slated right now to open around the 22nd or the 27th. And that's if we get our liquor permit.
Yeah.
If we get that, then everything's going to accelerate.
Good.
Hey, it's going to be a good time there. It's going to be a good time. Look at that smile on your face.
Good time in Vegas, man.
All right, guys, we're going to keep rolling with the questions. You got a couple more. Brandon Mumbauer, take it away, man.
You are my hero. I'm since I was a kid. I'm telling you, this is awesome that I get to see you guys and talk. Years ago, I read your book when I was in high school. Was one of your biographies, and because of that book, your work ethic gave me a better work ethic, and I've become very successful from it. So thank you so much for that. I very much appreciate it.
Well,
but I do have one question for you. Is that if there was anything you could have done different with injuries or setbacks, what would you have done with those, setbacks?
From a setback standpoint, I mean, if there was anything I could do differently, I could address that a lot easier. I would go back to school. I would have taken 2 or 3 foreign languages. I would have done some of those things. I would probably have taken the time to really focus on language and being able to speak multiple languages so I can interact with different cultures. I think today that is one of the things that bugs me the most. When you get on the elevator, and you have somebody from another country speaking language, and you sit right there wondering, what in the hell are they talking about? Are they talking about me? So for me, that's one thing that I would go back and do differently.
Awesome. Well, I don't want to waste your time. And one more question. I can't stand the Eagles. I live in the Philadelphia area, but is there any chance you're ever going to come out this way?
Hi.
Hello, love. No time soon. No time soon, but I will be up in the Northeast at some point. But just a matter of fact, we're going to DC tomorrow morning. Matter of fact, that's
awesome.
In Philadelphia right now.
I don't get to travel much, obviously, because of the kids and all. But I just, always looking to see if you're ever around this area for autographs and stuff. So, but I appreciate you guys' time, Coach. Thank you. You guys have a great day.
Y'all take it easy on my boy when y'all play Stanford now.
David's gonna have him ready to go, man. I know that.
It'll be good. It'll be good. We got one more question, guys, and then we'll wrap it up. This event right now. Or actually, this one's coming from Texas. Patrice, take it away.
I'm calling from France, so I'm French.
Okay.
So thank you so much. You are my hero. For about 30 years ago, when I saw you at the Super Bowl, I'm so happy to talk with you. This is awesome.
Thank
this
you.
Is really awesome.
Thank you.
You signed my jersey this weekend.
Oh, out in Vegas?
Yeah. Connie took some photo. I was really happy. I do not have words to express my gratitude, my feelings, and so on. This is incredible.
Thank you.
Incredible. I just have one wish. So go to the US. So I'm going in the US end of October, but I think I will not be able to see you because, for many things, but this is my wish. So I will wait for a public appearance from you, and I will go back to the US and say thank you, shake your hand, and this is.
How about we just do a fist pound right now?
Thank you so much for all what you did.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach, as you can see on this platform, and we'll get to selfies in a second, but Coach, obviously, as you can see this platform, Emmitt and all these notables love to interact with these fans from all over the world. We've had Australia, obviously French. I think we've had Mexico on before, but Coach, just kind of breaking it down, what'd you think about this experience? What'd you like about it? And obviously, would you ever come back again and, talk to us?
No, I think it's great. It's the first time I've ever done anything kind of like this, where you have the people kind of live coming in and you can see them and talk to them. It's really a great format. Yeah, for sure. No, it's awesome. But Emmitt, you cracked me up because my wife is half Greek. And so we were in Greece a few years ago. We had all the kids with us and everything. We had these big bags. And we got picked off when we got off the ferry. And the guy from the hotel that picked us up, he's radioing back to the hotel, telling him he needs help because they got these humongous bags. And my wife could understand everything he's saying.
But you were trying to figure it out?
Yeah, he was hilarious, though. He was like, and this little dude, we got these bags as big as him. And he's trying to figure out how he's going to carry these bags.
Yeah, man. I got on an elevator the other day, man. Yesterday, matter of fact, there was a couple in there that was talking some language. I don't know if it was German or Swedish. They were talking something. Yeah. And I was saying to myself, I wonder are they talking about me? And I'm over here nodding my head like I understand what's going on.
Hey, if you were the only one in the elevator, it had to be about you. There's no doubt.
No, it wasn't about me. I don't think it was. They just got on the elevator and took off walking quickly. Well, Coach, thanks again for taking the time out. I look forward to seeing you down the road. I'm gonna try to make that.
We'll see you in Palo Alto.
Hey. Make that game right there so I can get on the field and say hello to you. But thanks again for joining us, man. Wishing you all the best. Tell the folks over at Octagon I say hello to as well.
I will. My pleasure.
All right, Jesse, thank you.